Listen carefully. There is a new single private company that holds more physical gold than the Central Bank of South Korea, Australia, Greece, Hungary, and Brazil combined. Most people assume that kind of gold belongs to a powerful nation state. It doesn't. It belongs to Tether, the company behind USDT. And what makes this even more interesting is how quietly this is happening. Hi, my name is Lamia, and in this video, we are going to break down how Tether is building a gold empire, why regulators see this as a problem, and what this reveals about how the financial system actually works under the surface. Stay with me and let's get started. Over the last month, Tether accumulated more than 116 tons of physical gold. But this isn't just about stacking bars in vaults. They're moving upstream. Gold mining, gold royalties, future production. They're positioning themselves inside the physical supply chain. And that details matter because Tether makes its money inside the existing system. They hold large amount of short-term US Treasury bills, earns billion in interests, and then convert part of that profit into hard assets like gold and Bitcoin. So what they are really doing is hedging, not against volatility, against the system itself, against inflation. And that's exactly where regulators get uncomfortable. Here's the contradiction. Gold has been a store of value for thousands of years. Yet when S&P Global reviewed Tether, they downgraded them to their weakest stability rating. Why? Because under current regulations, gold is considered riskier than government debt. And to understand why, you have to understand how money is created today. The US dollar is not backed by gold. It's not backed by reserves. It's backed by debt. Every new dollar exists because someone went into debt. And that debt is considered safe because it's backed by the faith and trust of the US government. But that trust is not what it used to be. And here's something most people never learned. The Federal Reserve is not actually part of the US government. Despite the name, it's not federal. It doesn't hold reserves in the way people imagine. The name itself was chosen to sound stable. In reality, money is created digitally out of nothing. The US Treasury issued debts out of thin air. And the central bank creates money to buy that debt. That's the loop. And the cost of that loop is inflation. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When Tether converts profit from government debt into gold and Bitcoin, they're protecting themselves from inflation caused by the very system that regulators defend. But the regulators says, if you want to be a compliant dollar stablecoin issuer, you must hold dollars and dollar-dominated debt. In other words, you can hedge inflation only by holding the instrument that creates it. And that's not accident. The word fiat itself comes from Latin. It means a decree, an arbitrary order. Fiat currency has value because a government says it does, not because it's scarce, not because it's hard to produce. Gold doesn't work that way. Bitcoin doesn't work that way. And that's why they sit outside the system. So when Tether builds a reserve that includes physical gold, tokenized gold, and Bitcoin, they are not being reckless. They are being realistic. They are saying, if confidence erodes, if debt grows, if purchasing power keeps falling, we still want something real on the balance sheet. That's why this matters, not because Tether is perfect, not because there are no risks, but because this shows you how large players are thinking ahead. And once you see that shift, you start to understand where things are going. If you want clear explanation without hype or fear, make sure to subscribe and join our Telegram community and follow us on X. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.